opportunity to listen to any of our games. He has more things to say to come up with. I got to leave the booth every now and then just to get my composure back. Right now, I want to bring out the offensive unit. This is an offense that averages over 31 points a game and over 300 yards rushing per game. And at the high school level, that is unbelievable. It all starts with a man that handles the ball first, number 58, Jim Essence. Nothing can start until this guy decides he's going to hike the ball. Whether it's when everybody else is ready to go or not at times, but most of the time he's the man who has to get it all started. Then on each side of it, we have number 61, Chris Huff. On the other side, we have number 79, Ryan Grant. At the tackle, we have number 63, Mike Stefanko. On the other side, we have number 71, Sam Martin. In football lingo, if you've heard it ever on Sundays when they talk about the hogs, these are your hogs, and the reason why they call them is because they love to get down and dirty against that defensive unit. You look at uniforms at the end of the game. These guys, we have trouble reading their numbers. We just kind of watch by their reactions and call their name. But they're the ones that open the holes for the people who get all the publicity. And this year, we've added a couple of hogs to this lineup because they also are asked to do a lot of the blocking. And that's your tight ends, number 86, Josh Cole. Number 13, Casey McGuire. These two men are asked to do a lot of blocking on linebackers and people downfield. They also, once in a while, will get an opportunity, if they aren't stripped first from their jerseys when they try to go out on a pass pattern and can actually get out into it, have come up with a couple of big plays this year. And I'm thinking mainly of Casey in the Bullock Creek game, and also Josh down at Old Elsie coming up with a big catch on a third down play that took us on to a victory. But these young men are the ones who do all the work. They don't get a lot of the publicity either, but they're the ones that, wasn't for them, we wouldn't be moving the ball down the field like we are. We kind of call this like a steamroller unit. We just keep rolling down the field. Everything kind of gets flat and smooth behind us until we get to the end zone. Now the next young man I want to bring out is kind of the man in the control of this unit. And he just kind of guides us along and keeps on an even keel. The young man making his first start, and that's number 12, Dan Bastine. He's going to be the driver of this unit as we move on down the field, keeps us in an even keel and going straight forward. Now I want to introduce our wingback, number 16, David Hundy. David, as Mike has said many times, one of our thoroughbreds in the backfield with the speed. I like to call David Mr. Versatility. Because once he gets the ball, do they know, is he going to pass the ball? Is he going to run the ball? Or is he just going to go out and catch the ball? They don't know. Every time he goes in motion, it was a lot. 3, Bill Sipka. We aren't a one-man team when it comes to offense. This young man made him pay for it down there, and that's what really got us on the roll towards this playoff drive that we had near the end. And I kind of call Phil our Mr. Catch Me If You Can man, because once he gets the ball, it's a little hard to catch up with him. Then the man who has been carrying the load, the man who somebody frequently calls the horse, as the coaches calls the Haas, number 22, T.J. Schiller. I call T.J. the pain man, mainly because late in the ball games, after he's been pounding away, and this offensive line has been pounding on him, T.J. breaks through there. You know, it's one thought going through the defensive back or linebacker's minds when they see number 22 coming at them. That's mostly, oh my God, is this going to hurt? And then half the time, we just make sure he kind of runs up to the top of it. There's a young man who kind of brought this team to this point, and we want to bring out now number 19, Robbie Wise. swollen over these last 5 games. We're going to miss him, but he's helped Dan a lot in practice. I've observed that, so we've got a good hands with him helping Dan out. This is your offensive unit right here. This is Steve Ryan. I'm going to ask these gentlemen to step back, and I'd like to have everybody else, if we get introduced, step out here. There are 16 members now on this football team. And as I said, this is a team. Not only the 22 guys that we just introduced, Mike and I. These are the guys that we introduced, the ones you usually see in the paper or the film. But if it wasn't for these men right here, putting out and working hard and driving those guys to make them better, I'll tell you, for one thing, every team that we played this year, they only had to put up with the drive and the intensity and the pain that the 22 guys back there put out. They only had to put up with that for about 32 minutes, one game. These guys had to do it 4 days a week, every week of the year. And in some of the practices, according to the coaches, our practices were tougher than a couple of games we played. And it's because of the effort that these guys put out. And I think they deserve a big hand for the effort they put out. Before I turn this back over to Mike for some of his final comments, which I'm sure are going to be good, I want to ask everybody here that's going to the game, or whatever you do, when we go over there tomorrow, I want you to go over, and I want us to show the Franklin people the class that this school system and community can provide when we win or lose, no matter how the ball game comes out. We want you to cheer loud, be rowdy in a good sportsmanship way. Make sure when you're going to yell something, that you think about it, don't yell something that you're going to be sorry about later on, or that will embarrass you, your coaches, your community, your school, and especially don't ruin a day that these guys have worked hard for all year to put on for you as the fans and fellow students. Don't ruin that by saying something unfortunate. Let's go to class. We're going to come back to class. And we're going to show them that Alma High School knows how to play the game and how to play it right.
I'd like to say only that I'm very envious of each one of you, simply because of the opportunity that now presents itself to you. You see, the game tomorrow is the type of thing that 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years from now, people are going to be talking about. So if you can't go to the game tomorrow, listen to the game, and we'll bring it back to you. If you can make it over there, take a headset too and join the fun. But do whatever you can do to be part of this experience. Because 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, I want each one of you to be able to say, I was there when Alma beat Franklin. I get one more special honor this morning, and that's to introduce the 2 men at the helm of the ship. I like to call Jeff Ingersoll the professor because he seems to come up with defensive strategies to stop people. And I just call Mr. Lark Sir because he's a lot bigger than that. But folks, these are the best coaches we've got. In my opinion, Randy Lark is the Central Michigan Coach of the Year. Head coach Randy Lark.